Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Single Line Code. Today we are going to discuss an intermediate topic or you can say some detailed topic on DAX or DAX engines. So we will see how a DAX query is evaluated in the backend. So before doing some front-end visualization DAX query, we should know how the DAX queries are evaluated, right? So let's jump in. So how are DAX query evaluated? So to evaluate a DAX query, we have something called let me type it out. Something called first thing is formula engine. Two distinct engines we have, and something called what do you call storage engines. Storage engines. Now, what does formula engine do? Formula engine does nothing but it whenever a DAX query is written, it just interprets. Sorry, first it receives the query, interprets the query, and evaluates the final result. Okay, guys. Formula engine is nothing but when an example you've written a DAX query like sum of order quantity. So formula engine in the backend receives that query, tries to interpret it, and then evaluates the result. Similarly, I will tell you how the process works. Just understand the basic overview right now. Storage engines. What are storage engines? Storage engines are nothing but uh, it's sort of a what do you call a secondary part of formula engine, wherein the formula engine says or asks the storage engines for the data. Example, you get a data sum of order quantity. Now the order quantity is stored at some engine or at some place, right? So that data is provided by storage engines, or you can say a cached data. Cached data is provided by the storage engine. Okay, so this storage engine compresses the data uh, got it. And how this compression is done, I will tell you in the upcoming lectures if you guys are interested. So I'll just tell you how the overall process works. This was just the overview. So now let me get this annotate thing in the screen. Now imagine this is my DAX query. This is my formula query. And this is my storage query. Got it? This is my DAX query. I did full DAX. Sorry for my writing, guys. I'm writing the screen. So what happens when a DAX query is written, and now the formula query has to receive it. The formula query receives it, and once the formula query receives, it's the DAX formula engine receives the DAX query. It has to interpret it, right? So for interpreting, it needs some data. So what formula engine will do is it has to fetch data from storage engine. So it will create a execution plan. It will create an execution plan, and that execution plan will be sent to the storage engine. Once the executive plan is sent to the storage engine, now storage engine, what it will do, it will try to execute all the steps which is planned by the formula engine. Like example, you have to go to this database. Suppose when you go to a database, you select multiple filters, right? Similarly, those filters will be decided by formula engine, and it will be given to the storage engines. And one more point, and for storage engines, are storage engines executes all the steps, which is what do you call, storage engine executes all the executes all the steps planned by the formula engine. Okay, now coming to my figure. Once the execution plan is given to the storage engine will figure out and fetch the data, and then whenever it fetches the data, it will send it back to my formula engine. This is FE, which is formula engine, and this is storage engine. Okay, the storage engine will give the data back to my formula engine. Now, formula engine, once it receives the data from storage engine, it will try to evaluate. Let's say a sum of order quantity, the final evaluation, right? There will be like example 2 plus 3, total is 5. So it will, and imagine a DAX query is to sum. So it will evaluate and send the final result as 5. I in my so I'll send the final result as 5 to my screen. Screen in the sense, whatever the DAX query is created, it will give the output as 5. That's how what do you call the DAX engine works, internal DAX engine. Now I can give you one more example. Like let's say let's make it a little bit simpler. Imagine you are working in an office, right? You have a manager. This is you, and this is a database. Let's say clear my drawings. Manager, you, and SQL database, right? Manager told me find profit for a certain product to you. Let's say pen. Find profit for pen in the year 2021. So manager has given me a problem. Please find me a profit details, or you can say net revenue details also of the product pen in 2021 year. So when the problem is given, you will try to evaluate it. Okay, what is the problem, and what are the steps I can take to evaluate the problem, right? Then you will go to your SQL database, which is my storage, which will act as a storage engine. This is formula engine, FE, and this is storage engine. Okay, now you will go to the SQL, and you know what filters to put in. Filters like year is 2021, product is pen, and you want profit and loss, net revenue, whatever filters you want to put, you'll put, and SQL database will fetch you some result, right? Which will fetch you some result. That result you will take, that result will be displayed to you, and then what you will do, you will evaluate, right? You will evaluate, acha, okay, 2022 there was a loss of 10%, or there was gain of 1%, whatever calculation or evaluation you will do, and then you will send back those result to your manager. And manager in this regard is my screen, who is displaying the data or output. So that's how your DAX engine works, guys. So this is an internal engine in the backend. Whenever DAX query is written, and this process is followed in the backend. Okay, and there are other things, and there are also other things to this, like example, storage engines. Now, for storage engines, there are two types of engines here. Okay, two types of engines. Let me write it in text itself. Two types of storage engines. Two types of storage engines. One is your Vertipack, and the and the other one is direct query. Direct query. So Vertipack is nothing but like whatever you are saving in the memory. Like example, you are trying to import a Excel file or a CSV file. What I'll just write it in, in memory. In memory, CSV, Excel, text. So you are saving this kind of files, right? You're importing these files and you are saving in Intel memory. So these are known as Vertipack, and direct query is nothing but example you are connecting to a live connection or connection and or to a Azure analysis database, correct? So that's how your the what do you call storage engines are divided, which is like two types, Vertipack and direct query. Now mostly Vertipack is used in most of the organizations, and there are organizations which follows direct query. Direct query is or direct query or live connection, though these are actually a little bit slower in terms of Vertipack, I would say, because live connections are like if you do some heavy calculations, it will take time to produce your output. Similarly, it's all data is already there, and you're there directly making calculations in your in memory, so it should not be taking much time here. So Vertipack, and now if you ask me what about Vertipack, I can tell you some other information for Vertipack. Vertipack storage Vertipack engines are like Vertipack are like the data are present in form of columnar structures. Structures like the various column the data is present in terms of columns, like let's say grocery items, grocery items, and let's say cost. So grocery items is one column, and cost of that grocery item is in another column. Okay, so there are multiple compression methods which is used to save or to minimize the memory, or like we can reduce the memory, because since Vertipack is in memory, we are trying to compress the data, right? So multiple compression techniques are used, like example value method, you have hash method, you have RLE, running line exec. I forgot the full form. RLE is nothing but what you call, it tries to count the different. I'll just tell you with example. Like let's say there is a value 781 and 781 780 4 780 and 5 780. So RLE, what it does is you can see, right, 781 is coming twice, and 780 is coming in thrice, right? So if you're taking these 5 rows, this 5 rows is consuming some, let's say 5 MB of memory. What Power BI does it, and Power BI's RLE technique does it. It will just convert this. It will take the distinct items, like 781 is of 2 times, 780 is of 3 times. We'll just count the number of occurrences of the number and put a distinct and count. And this will automatically save in memory. There are other compression techniques like value method. Value method, what it does is like example, there are in a column you'll have multiple values. Like it tries to find out relationship between those values and tries to store them in a smaller, or tries to reduce the memory of it. So there are multiple topics in what you call compression for Vertipack uh, storage engines. If you guys are interested, do let me know. I can have a separate recording, or you can separate class for that. So I think Apart from that, I think for internal, I think that's what you guys. That's what you guys should know. I think for intermediate level, this would be fine. If you ask for advanced level, I would say a little bit more. You should know on the compression techniques as well as the direct query and live query. But if you are interested, you guys can go to the Power BI community and find a lot of information on these topics. I hope you guys are enjoying my lectures. Do subscribe and like my videos, guys. Thank you so much.